Cool.
Will I hold it? Yes, I will. You're going to get a coupon. Ryan and Ellis, I could be lucky.
Back over here, Jay, please. And over here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kyle, are you getting this?
12 noon Friday. 12 noon Friday.
Guys, to your left, Lionsgate.
Guys, Lionsgate house crew right here.
This way.
Lionsgate house crew.
Okay.
Yeah. There you are. That's it. Shout out, Kyle. You look good up there, man. You do. You look good up there, man. You like that look good.
And over here, please. Just look straight ahead.
That could mean a lot of things, but I would say...
Over, guys. Stuck you in my closet.
This way, please. Look straight ahead. Thank you. Straight ahead, please. Thank you. Over here. Straight ahead, please, both. Right here. Thank you.
Y'all too quiet. Y'all gotta make some noise.
Thank you.
I was in Oakland about 20 minutes ago. So I think what's really exciting about this movie is that I love watching.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Got one win out of it.
I would say, I don't know, the amount of times that I've worn, like, so like different.
Right here, please. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Punk store, so all like the live music that was played, I don't know, that live music gets me excited. 3 words. Just, I don't know. That's
And over here, please. Thank you.
We're going to con.
Straight ahead, please.
Hair that big and all the makeup and everything. All of that feels really out of my But I like being a little bit freaked out in my ways. Like when I'm thinking. That was scare me.
Yeah, you got it.
And underneath the water, and my mom walked in and was like, "Ron, you were too young to watch this," but I was so obsessed with that movie. So obsessed with it.
Alright, we'll see you inside. Get us drunk.
Thank you.
I want one of these.
We're trying to take a photo yesterday. Yes.
This is crazy. This is crazy because like when I first wrote the project and brought it to Anna and like we worked on it together, this was always like the anchor to the story, the anchor to the movie. Even when people were like, I don't know if we can afford to shoot it in Oakland, let's think of other places. It was like, well, at least we have to shoot the Grand Lake. We have to shoot the Grand Lake. But thankfully we were able to shoot the whole movie here and bring it home.
Yeah. It's like opening words of the script. It's like open on Grand Lake Theater marquee.
I mean, for me, I grew up here. So like this was my hometown. This is all my obsessions as a 10-year-old boy, and I'm happy to be a filmmaker, and I'm able to like do this for a living. And thankfully, I was able to convince a lot of other people that this was an exciting story to tell. And yeah, it all stems from that 10-year-old boy in Oakland.
He just wore me down over the years, pitching me different versions of Freaky Tales, version after version after version for like the past decade. And so finally, I was just like, all right, already. We'll figure it out. And this was the one we came upon, these like 4 intersecting stories of like East Bay underdogs seeking out justice. And the fun thing about this movie is that the underdogs might actually win.
So crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ben Mendelsohn we've worked with in half our movies now. We've done 3 movies with him, we've done 6 movies total. So always, anytime we can work with Ben, that's a done deal. And yeah, we had this character of Clint too, like this heavy like gangster type. And we were like, you know what? We had a big list of names, and I was like, no, this is not these names. Let's go with Pedro Pascal. And he hadn't done Last of Us yet. That hadn't come out, right? So it was only like The Mandalorian and Narcos. But I was like, I think this Pascal kid's going places. I think we got to put him in the movie. And then here we are. Yeah.
I know. Well, for that, it was just like, let us try to get as many kind of Oakland faces in this movie as possible, as many Oakland faces, as many Oakland paces, as much Oakland like an East Bay music, Bay Area music as we can possibly have in this movie. And so yeah, it was amazing that we were able to get Tom Hanks to have a little role, him being from Oakland, and of course Marshawn Lynch, Too Short, Tim Armstrong, who like is one of the original founders of Op Ivy. I mean, all over the place. And then, you know, to work with people like Normani and Dominique Thorne on, you know, as like this rap duo who like take down Too Short in like the second chapter of the film. I mean, it was really like a dream cast.
I mean, this was a fun movie. We've written a lot of movies. We've made a handful of movies. We've never actually sat down and said, we want the audience to have the best effing time at the movies. And that's what this was. We're like, this is going to be a fun time at the movies. We're going to kick some Nazi ass. And I want people to walk out of the theater and say, damn, what did I just see? And when can I see it again?
It's a beautiful thing. I'm actually from the Bay Area, so I grew up coming to this theater. My family got a lot of memories in this theater. So for me to be a part of the film is a big blessing, and I think it's a great thing for Oakland, a great thing for our community, you know, so I'm very excited about it. It means everything. Last night we were all at the basketball game, me, Too Short, E40, Mr. Fab. We were all talking, and it was just like generations that's been passed down of things they've taught me, I've taught artists younger than me. So I think just our camaraderie as a culture here in the Bay Area, the unity we have, the love we have for each other, the melting pot of culture, you know, it's so diverse here, different ethnicities, different people, but we all treat each other like one. And I think this film exudes that in a great way. I actually did an interview the other day, and they was like, I know it was a lot of pressure and it was this, and I was like, it really wasn't, because I grew up kind of idolizing him. You know what I mean? So I know his mannerisms. I know how he walk, how he talk. I know all his songs. So it was an honor to be able to do it, and really a great experience. Big shout out to Ryan and Anna, Jelani Johnson, Macro, Lionsgate. This was a great experience. I had a great time on set, but it was amazing to be able to play that role. What's better than a live experience, right? We could always watch it from home, but we outside tonight. Smell the air, smell the people. Get some of this good food over here at M2 that we're gonna be hanging out at tonight. You know, come touch the city, touch the soil. It's always better when it's a live experience.
It was fun. It was so much fun. I've always been a fan of the anthology style, and I think to know that this one person was a part of this larger, very different whole was something super intriguing to me. And then she's just a ball of energy, you know, who doesn't back down from a challenge. And that's always fun to lean into. Yes, I sure did. And it was like the ultimate kudos to hear straight from her that, you know, both Normani and I did a good job of portraying them as they were. Oh, it was great. It really was great. I think they had such a strong and compelling vision for a film that already was so magnetic on the page. I think it's a real treat. I think it is a genuine love letter to this city that has had such a strong influence on music and sports and activism. I think there's so much that has started in the Bay and started in Oakland. So many great artists that have come out of here, past and present. So I think for Ryan and himself included, so I think for him to be at the helm of this was really the best way to write that letter. Oh, because that is the way that movies were made to be watched, absolutely. And I think this is not only like an ode to this one very fun, freaky time in culture, but it's also an ode to that time in cinemas. I mean, we start our chapter coming out of the iconic Grand Lake Theater, and I love that Anna and Ryan made this film with the big screen in mind, because that really is the best way to consume it.
It's just a really fun watch. There's so many different little stories that are so like thrilling, action-packed, emotional, and I don't know, it's just such a fun time. So yeah. Pedro is like the nicest guy ever, you know, and I was kind of scared of like going into it because, you know, he's Pedro Pascal, but I remember like he was just like the nicest guy. He let me use his he had like a latte machine in his trailer and he let me use it, so I'm like, okay, immediately this guy's genuinely nice, genuinely cool, but yeah, everyone was so nice, so great. I think it's because it's like one of those classic kind of like films that I don't know, there's not a lot made like this anymore, and I think it's definitely the kind that makes the whole audience get excited, just get that old school I'm in a movie theater watching it feeling, you know, and it's just that kind of movie magic that you don't feel a lot nowadays.
Yeah, this is wild. This is really crazy. I mean, the theater makes a little cameo in the film. Sleepy actually rides by this theater on his motorcycle in the film. It's amazing. It's amazing to be here. You know, I've known Ryan and Anna for a few years now, and they called me about this movie, and knowing that Ryan is from here, he knew that I spent a lot of time in the Bay Area as a kid. So to be here is really wild right now. Like, it's really cool. Yeah. Nah, I mean, I had an uncle who actually lived in Hayward. I had some family that was on the the north end of Oakland, almost into Berkeley. And so I do remember spending a lot of time here, and there was a vibe here. There was a lot of, you know, there's a culture here. There was, the community was connected, and obviously, you know, when you start talking about like artists and creativity and even the punk rock scene that was here, and obviously the athletic scene that was here with the Bash Brothers, you know, with the Oakland A's and the Raiders and the Warriors. It was a really magical time, and I remember a lot of that. Very much remember a lot of that. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I kept telling him, I didn't know how much of the script he had actually seen, but I kept telling him, I hope you're proud of what I do. I want to do right by you. But it was cool. I mean, Sleepy really gave me a lot of his time. You know, I thought about what does his accent sound like, and, you know, his body language and how a hooper kind of moves. And, you know, he has this big, energetic, like very magnetic smile. And so I thought about that a lot. And then really, you know, as I went into the movie and started prepping some of the martial arts and some of the weapons work, I also thought about like, what are some basketball moves? What are some moves that I could incorporate that Sleepy would have done? Like, you know, I think of the game specifically from this night in the film where he scores 29 points in a quarter, and he has this really amazing like crossover that he does. And I remember telling Ron, our stunt coordinator, I wanted to add that crossover into the choreography, into the fight choreography, and like find a way to use that and use a spin move, because those were signature Sleepy moves. So it was really cool getting to do that, getting to study him, getting to spend time with him, to hear his stories. It was amazing. Yeah, I mean, there's so many reasons. I think it's an underdog story. So I think if you've ever felt like you didn't get your due, if you ever felt looked over, if you ever felt like somebody was stepping on you or you got bullied, like this is a movie for you. We are here for you, this whole crew, this whole cast. Pedro! What? Come on, man. What you get here?
I just got here. From where? From LA.
I was in the middle of an interview. Sorry. Guys, stop distracting me. This is a movie for everybody. Yeah, and Pedro's in it, so it's really a movie for everybody. Yeah.
Oh, it's so exciting. You know, we shot here. This is the opening of the movie, so it feels very full circle. And I had secretly been hoping that we were going to hold our big premiere here, so I'm very, very happy we got to return. It's so great. It's so fun. I mean, this all feels now very big, especially because we had so many amazing cast members, but the making of it really was an indie movie. It really is Ryan's love letter to his home, and Ryan and Anna trying out a ton of cool things. So it was so exciting to be a part of, and it was just a really good time. Well, Tina is part of the punk scene that's in Oakland in the 80s that eventually gives birth to really iconic punk bands, including Rancid and Green Day. So there's a lot of really cool references if you're familiar with that world, so look out for that. But Tina as a character, she's cool, she knows she's cool, she's going to speak her mind, she's going to take up space, and she's going to kick some butt. Oh, it was so much fun. I started as a dancer, so anytime I have a chance to use that is a really exciting time. I did all my stunts on this, which is just really exciting. And Ron Yuan, our action designer, is a legend in the Asian American community and in Hollywood at large, so it's just really good to work with him. This is like a classic crowd-pleasing movie. I really encourage everyone to go see it because it's so much fun to watch the twists and turns. I think the movie will definitely surprise you in a lot of different ways. And I think that going to a theater and being in community with other people, sharing art with other people, that's the best. That's why I do what I do.
I'll be honest, this is very, very cool. I know that Ryan went to this theater, and this is a big inspiration for him for writing the movie and making the movie, and I think it's a perfect place to have the premiere for Oakland, yeah. Oh, I mean, I've worked with Ryan and Anna, this is the third time. First time when I was 17, and yeah, no, it just felt like perfect. Like they hit me up to ask me about sort of like Oakland punk stuff, and I like read the script, and then they were like, hey, would you maybe want to play a part in it? And I was like, yeah. And we came up here and had a great time. It's great to see them doing indie stuff again and like really back in their element. Well, I played Josh, who is a white kid from Oakland who's never been in a fight, who gets into punk rock, and then around the Gilman Street scene, gets in with these people, and yeah, experiences his first bout of violence that I think is earned and justified, and yeah, they give him hell, so yeah.
I think it's the best way to share the movie. When we were shooting the movie, being in Oakland felt like the primary character of the story, and so to be here and continue with the spirit of the movie and the essence of its identity feels really special. I love the movie. I love to fight for the underdog, so it's good to be here and represent. You know, I talked to the directors very, very transparently about not feeling cool enough to play the part, and I had all these other casting ideas for the part, and they were like, no, we want you to do it. And I was like, okay, well, but what about, what about this guy? And they're like, no, we want you to do it. Ryan and Anna were the first directors to send me a playlist based on my character, and it moved me so deeply because I always make a playlist for each of my characters. I always start with some kind of piece of music or song to kind of anchor me into getting started. And so it started like that, and then they blocked me into the early part of shooting, and of course, there are so many interconnected stories, but the intersections are very, very brief and sudden. So in the first part, I was a little bit on a lonely path, and then the moments I got to intersect with the cast felt like these little gems and these magical little intersections of kind of crossing paths with the other stories that are being told within the movie. That's my favorite scene to watch, but it was the hardest scene to shoot. It was a night shoot. We were crunched for time. Jay, who's next to me, was doing a massive action sequence simultaneously, which I had no idea it would look as cool as it did. And we were like, all right, cut. Now you do your thing upstairs, and we'll wait for you, and then cut, and we'll do our thing downstairs. And it looked like this epic thing that they had all this time to do, and they didn't have any time to do it. So, not my favorite scene to shoot, but my favorite scene to watch. And then my favorite scene to do is in the video store. That's all I'll say. For me, there's a lot of nostalgia attached to this movie. There's a lot of love and passion that was put into making it. It's also a story about defending the underdog and fighting, fascism in all its different forms. And I love that. And it's very earnest in that message and very bold and violent in a very playful way, but very, very sincere in its message of fuck Nazis.
Oh man, I'm so excited to be a part of this event. To be such an integral part of it is amazing. Being back in Oakland, I had a great career here, have an outstanding affinity for the area, and to be a part of a production like this is a blessing to me individually. So I'm just enjoying the ride, excited about it, and looking forward to the premiere tonight. Well, he has some athletic talent, so I think he played in college as well. So I just told him don't miss any shots when he's playing me. But he's been great to work with. He's so humble, such a pro, and just made me feel so comfortable on set. So he's been a good friend so far, and I've enjoyed working with the whole cast and the director and the writer. They've been so amazing to put this story together based on 1987, our playoff game. It's just a blessing, and I'm so happy to be here. It was a freaking tale, man. The cultural experiences that were going on. You had the Oakland A's and the Warriors, and it's a great sports town anyway. And then being able to be on the West Coast. I grew up in Gastonia, North Carolina, a little small town. So to have an opportunity to start my career out here in the Bay Area was amazing. And it just catapulted me to a long career.
I mean, I'm born and raised to imagine that a song that I wrote when I was 16 is being portrayed on the big screen it's amazing. Nothing that I saw coming. Has been like 37 years. I'm 53 now. So to watch Normani and Dominique perform is pretty fantastic. Well, the interesting part is that I'm a talent agent in Hollywood. So I'm a managing partner of comedy at Innovative Artists. So I work with Macro on other things. So when, the executive called me, he said, I'm looking for this character and it's you. And I said, I know. I think we need good press. There are amazing people here. It's a beautiful city. It creates some amazing entertainers, amazing minds that have pollinated out into the world. So the fact that it can be a full circle moment for me, everything that this song has created, every opportunity for me that helps me feed my family right now. So it is really a full circle moment for me. We were definitely ghetto famous for sure, but we didn't have phones and cameras, and especially not for the things that had cuss words and whatnot in them. So the people that knew, they know. And so this is like every time somebody discovers it, they're like, what? And then, to be operating in this space anyway, it's really cool. Thank you so much. I love the fact that Ryan got our story, the dynamics between Entice and Barbie so accurately, because she always was dragging me around. She lives in Ghana, so she's not here tonight, but You know, we were cousins running these streets, and that was accurately portrayed. So.
The last time I walked in this building, I was probably like 18, 19, taking my girlfriend on a date to the movies, and it means a lot. When I saw an earlier version of the movie, I've only seen it once at one of the screenings, Sundance, and this theater plays a large part in the movie. It's a character in the movie, and to just think that I would have loved to maybe one day have shot a music video here or a photo shoot or anything. Like, a lot of people have done things with this marquee in the background, so it means a lot. This is the Grand Lake Theater. It was our premier theater in Oakland from far back as I can remember. Well, you know, around the town, we call it the town, we feel like it's a beautiful backdrop for television and movies, but it's really hard to do that out here. It's really hard to make it happen, to get the right permits to shoot on certain streets at certain times. And I think that this is sort of the threshold of stopping us and let us do it. It can happen. This is proof it can happen. Well, he did a great job being too short. Symba, shout out to Symba, because when I first just saw the still photos, I was like, I didn't take that picture. Like, they really fixed him up to be me. He really took it to heart and overdid it, and it's just amazing to step out. It's like an out of body experience where you just see yourself, but that's not me. You know, it's weird. Well, from the start, Ryan was hitting me up, and he's like, "I want you to be involved. This has a lot to do with you." I saw this. I read the script before we even talked. I knew what it was, and I always just felt like, you know, I'm gonna put my all into it. I wanted to make sure it was as authentic as possible for the people of the city when they see it, to say, okay, that's the town, and you know, just I was really proud that they involved me. I'm really, really glad that I got to be a part of this.